If you're looking for a great way to plan your projects, Critical Path might be the right choice for you. Critical Path in project management can be used to strip a project back to its most important elements and to find exactly what needs to happen in order to achieve it. According to Investopedia, the Critical Path method, or CPM, was created in the 1950s, but an earlier version is thought to have been used for the Manhattan Project, a secret defense project used to create the atomic bomb. So, what does a critical path in project management usually consist of? There are 3 elements you'll need to create a critical path in project management: a list of tasks needed to complete the project, any task dependencies, and the time that each will take to complete. Once you've found the longest stretch of dependent activities, you can measure them from start to finish to find your critical path. There are a few important concepts when it comes to critical path in project management. The first is float. Float is the wiggle room time you have to start a task without delaying the overall project completion. Total float is the time difference between when the task must be done and when the project must be completed. A project can also have a negative float, meaning it will be completed after the original delivery date. So how do you go about building a critical path chart? The first step is to define the project scope. This includes picking a completion date and listing out each to-do to get the project done. Next, identify your critical path. Some of these tasks cannot be started before others are completed. These are called sequential activities. The critical path is the longest string of activities that must be completed in a specific order to complete the project on time. Once you've added these, you should have something that looks a little like this. If, for example, you have a project that should take 30 days to complete, a 1-day delay to any of these tasks will mean the project is completed in 31 days. Sometimes a project may have multiple critical paths. This can happen if a task is dependent on 2 different tasks or if 2 processes need to happen at the same time. These sequences are only possible when there are resources available. When tasks must be completed by fewer people, then this will create more dependencies. This is referred to as resource constraints. So, what is a resource critical path? A resource critical path in project management allows for the consideration of resources for each task. It may accommodate extra days for possible delays or cause a previously shorter critical path to lengthen. Next, you'll need to calculate roughly how long each individual task is likely to take. If you add these together, you can work out the approximate time you'll need to complete the project, and from there, the earliest possible date that you can get it done. There's one final piece to a critical path in project management: a parallel task, which is a task that is not dependent on other tasks. These must be monitored carefully in order to avoid delays, as they can often be neglected. The good news is that critical path can be used by any team in any industry to handle complex projects. According to Liquid Planner, almost half of project managers list hitting deadlines as their biggest challenge. Critical path in project management enables teams to focus on this, so it can benefit any team at any organization that struggles with this. So, what are the advantages of using critical path in project management? There are 5 main benefits of using critical path. It visualizes projects, defines the most important tasks. It saves time and helps manage deadlines. It helps to compare planned with actual time. And it makes dependencies clear. But what are the limitations of using critical path in project management? Well, by its very nature, critical path doesn't allow much flexibility for the possibility of change. Because of this, it's better used in more routine or predictable projects. If you're looking to use critical path in project management, Wrike can help you create one in just one click. Wrike's project management software is totally customizable and scalable, with ready-made solutions for marketing and professional services teams. Check out our other videos to learn more.